There is a phrase that circulates in every cycle of economic change: the greatest wealth transfer in history. But most people misunderstand the mechanism. They look for a single moment when they should be looking for a movement of entire systems. Hype is the noise that masks the signal. Speculation is driven by emotion, but structural transfers are driven by logic and the search for efficiency. Real change is quiet, deep, and final. It doesn't ask for permission from the old world. We are witnessing a shift in the underlying structure of how value is created, stored, and moved. This isn't a headline, it's a plumbing upgrade for the global economy. The old pipes are leaking, and the new ones are being laid in code. A real wealth transfer is value migrating from one architecture to another. It's not just money changing hands, it's the very nature of ownership changing form. Right now, value is abandoning the centralized past for a distributed future. Think back to the transition from steam to electricity. It wasn't just about faster machines, it was about a new way of organizing life. The internet did the same for information. Now we are seeing that same force applied to value itself. In the information age, the companies that captured the most value were those that built the infrastructure. They didn't just participate in the network, they were the network. We are at that same crossroads today with the digital economy. This restructure is happening across five specific layers: financial plumbing, AI driven logic, digital sovereign ownership, identity validation, and autonomous settlement. These are the converging forces of the next decade. When these pillars converge, the impact compounds. This is why it feels different this time. It's not just another app or another asset, it's a fundamental restructuring of the global operating system. The old world is being rewritten. Repricing is the most overlooked phase. As systems change, assets are reevaluated based on their utility. An asset that cannot move at the speed of the new system will be discounted. Utility is the new gold standard of valuation. Utility creates liquidity. Liquidity creates accessibility. And accessibility changes the valuation models of the entire market. For example, illiquid local assets are being transformed into liquid global tokens. The friction is being removed. Systems that require intermediaries are slow and exclusive. Systems built on direct protocol to protocol interaction are fast and inclusive. This transition isn't just improving efficiency, it's changing who can participate. Most focus on price, but serious players focus on liquidity. Liquidity is the lifeblood of any system. It determines how fast a market can react and how efficiently capital can be deployed to where it is needed most. Traditional liquidity is fragmented, siloed in institutions and regions. Digital liquidity is dynamic and responsive. It flows like a global electric grid. Efficient systems act as magnets for participation and capital. Automation is the layer that changes how decisions are made. Instead of human emotion moving capital, logical protocols begin to manage risk, optimize flows, and execute transactions in real time based on data. Value begins to move based on logic, not headlines. This creates a market environment that is more structured and less prone to the chaotic swings of the past. It is a system built for the speed of digital thought. Access is the most powerful force in any economy. When you expand access, participation increases. When participation increases, markets innovate. We are removing the geographical and institutional barriers of the last century. Digital systems are the bridges over those old barriers. New participants bring new ideas, new capital, and new competition. This isn't just a shift in wealth, it's a shift in the collective intelligence of the global market. Think about the velocity of value. In the old system, money crawled through a complex web of banks. In the new system, value moves at the speed of information. This speed creates opportunities that were previously impossible. Why do so many miss this shift? Because they look for the familiar. They look for the old world's rules in a new world's architecture. They mistake the noise of the headlines for the signal of the infrastructure. True signals are found in infrastructure development, institutional behavior, and regulatory direction. These are the footprints of what is being built. While the crowd talks about price, the giants are building the plumbing. Giant institutions don't move for hype. They move for sustainable efficiency and profit. When you see them building on these networks, the wealth transfer is no longer a prediction, it's a documented process. Don't fall into the timing trap. Wealth transfers aren't about being right for a single moment. They are about being positioned for the entire transition. Transitions move in phases: build out, adoption, expansion, and normalization. We are currently in the foundation phase. This is the period of greatest uncertainty for the masses, but the greatest opportunity for the informed. By the time it feels safe and obvious, the positioning window is closed. When it becomes obvious to everyone, the wealth has already transferred. The structural gains belong to those who saw the signal, while others only heard the noise. This is the simple historical reality of every systemic change. Interoperability is the unseen thread that allows the new economy to function as a unified whole. Without it, we have digital silos. With it, we have a frictionless global economy that never sleeps. It is the language of value. Imagine a payment across an ocean being as fast and simple as an email. This is what's being built, a world where borders are no longer barriers to the free movement of value and capital. Total economic integration. Networks derive value from their participants. The more people and institutions that align with a system, the more valuable that system becomes. This is the law of network effects, and it's the engine of the new economy. We are moving from trusting fallible institutions to trusting immutable math, from trusting people to trusting protocols. This shift in trust is the bedrock of the 21st century economic architecture. It is predictable and objective. Mathematics doesn't take sides, protocols don't change their minds. In a world of increasing uncertainty, predictability is the most valuable currency. This is what is being constructed under the surface of trade. AI is the intelligence layer. It doesn't just process data, it acts on it. It identifies opportunities and risks that the human brain simply cannot see in real time. It is the brain of the new financial architecture. So, where do we fit? Our role is to understand the framework, to position ourselves where the value is flowing, not where it used to be. This is a game of strategic patience, not frantic speed. The year 2030 is the horizon. By then, the winners and losers of this wealth transfer will have been decided. The restructure will be in its final stages of normalization. The new global OS will be the standard. We are less than a decade away from a world of seamless value flow, where your identity is your key and your assets are truly yours. The steps you take today will define your position in that world. Shift your perspective from being a passive consumer to an active participant. In the old system, you were a user of financial products. In the new system, you are a node in a global network. Power and responsibility. Regulations are the final hurdle. They aren't here to stop the shift, they are here to formalize it, to bring trillions of institutional dollars safely into the new architecture. Clarity is the gateway to the floodgates opening. Once the rules are established, the path is clear. Our job is to be ready before that happens, to have our positions established while others are still waiting for the green light. The future belongs to the prepared. Let's reflect on the true meaning of value as we move through this breakdown. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's the ability to build a future that reflects our collective intelligence. The digital economy is the ultimate expression of that intelligence. It is a system designed to work for us, freeing us from the friction of the past. That is the true promise of the wealth transfer, a restructure of economic liberty. The decisions made today echo for generations. We are building the foundations for a world our children will thrive in. Make your strategic positioning a legacy that stands the test of time. Be strategic. Be ready. Action without a framework is just movement. To thrive in this transition, you need structured, deep knowledge. This is the difference between those who lose everything and those who capture the migration of value. Success starts with the roadmap, not the hype, but the deep analysis of the plumbing, the infrastructure, the liquidity, and the signals that define the future of global trade and individual prosperity. The signals are undeniable. The value is migrating. The future is digital. Are you aligned with the new world? The choice you make now will define the next 2 decades of your financial life. This strategic blueprint was built to give you the vision, but vision needs a roadmap. It needs a synthesis of everything we've discussed today, a way to navigate the 2030 horizon with confidence. On the other side of this transition is a world of unprecedented efficiency and sovereign ownership, a digital garden of value. Positioning yourself there now is the ultimate strategic advantage. Build for the light. The dawn of the digital economy is here. The migration is occurring every second. Don't wait for the normalization. Be the few who understand what is truly happening. The signals are there for those who look. Deep underneath the consumer apps is the global settlement layer. This is the new architecture of trust. It is where trillions of dollars are cleared and settled in seconds, bypassing the legacy lag. This shift enables the rise of the sovereign individual. You no longer need permission to access the world's financial core. You hold your own keys. You manage your own destiny. This is the ultimate freedom. And at the heart of this system is scarcity. Digital scarcity, verified by math, ensures that value cannot be diluted by institutions. It is the first time in history we have perfect, provable scarcity in digital form. Security and integrity are the dual foundations of this architecture. In a distributed world, the system's strength comes from its transparency. Every movement is logged, verified, and permanent, a fortress of logic. Let's reflect on the true meaning of value as we move through this breakdown. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's the ability to build a future that reflects our collective intelligence. We have spent this time exploring the depth of the greatest wealth transfer in history. We have seen the systems, the signals, and the inevitability of the digital economy. Now it comes down to action. This strategic blueprint was built to give you the vision, but vision needs a roadmap. It needs a synthesis of everything we've discussed today, a way to navigate the 2030 horizon with confidence. Standardization is the invisible glue of the new economy. The move toward global standards like ISO 2022 ensures that every transaction, regardless of its origin, speaks the same language. This eliminates errors and dramatically increases the speed of global trade. Central bank digital currencies are emerging as the institutional response to this shift. They represent the formalization of digital value at the highest levels of government. This isn't just about cash, it's about the programmable future of national economies. I've put everything into one place, a complete framework for understanding these structural shifts before 2030. It's the synthesis of all our discussion, and it's now officially available for you to adopt and master. The roadmap, Mastering XRP, AI, and the Digital Economy Before 2030, is available now on Amazon. This is the complete beginner to expert survival guide for the coming decade of change and opportunity. We have reached the absolute end of our strategic blueprint. I hope this has provided the vision you need to thrive. Subscribe to the signals, get the roadmap on Amazon, and stay strategic. Goodbye. It's time to build. It's time to thrive. It's time for the wealth transfer. Good luck on your journey toward 2030. Thank you for joining me for this comprehensive strategic roadmap. Farewell.